Hey guys, what's up? So, we don't know very much at this point about Nintendo's upcoming console, the Nintendo NX. That's just a working title, obviously. And I've been waiting quite a while to make a video about it, and I wanted to wait until we know a little bit more, and that point has come now. It is only a rumor, but I find it interesting nonetheless. An apparent insider has announced that he spoke to, quotation marks, the right people at Nintendo, and found out that Nintendo's new console doesn't aim to compete with the power of the current gen consoles. The guy who said that is Tamaki on Twitter. He's a writer at Unseen64. Obviously, it's just a rumor. I don't want to give the impression that this is some kind of confirmed fact. It is just this guy saying it on Twitter. But my first reaction when I read it was that it really fits into the picture. I mean, the Wii was lacking behind in terms of hardware. The Wii U followed the same concept. And if we're looking at the Wii U, what is the problem with this console right now? I mean, it was just launched 2.5 years ago. I think the problem is, and I'm sure most of you guys will agree, that there are just not enough games. And the big reason for there not being enough games is because third-party developers can't develop for this console because the hardware is too slow. I personally think that at this point in time, a certain amount of power should just be a given for consoles as well as an x86 architecture. I mean, the Xbox One did it, the PS4 did it, so that third parties can easily develop for these platforms. But again, Nintendo seems to ignore all these hints, and they think that they can overcome the lack of hardware just with innovation. And I mean, yes, we've seen it with the Wii. The Wii had an innovative input concept, and it was very, very successful. It aimed at a very different target audience, not your traditional gamer, and that's why it was successful. But I personally feel that Nintendo is hanging behind in the thought that this concept will repeat itself, that they can make the success of the original Wii happen again. And I personally doubt that they will be able to do that. I mean, I don't want to say that it's all about power. If that would be true, then the PS Vita would totally dominate the 3DS, but obviously it's the other way around. PS Vita is lacking behind because the 3DS has more games and it is the more attractive platform for gamers. So it is not all about power, but nonetheless, I feel that Nintendo is making their life unnecessarily difficult by putting outdated hardware in their consoles, because you can still innovate, right? You can have a console that is as fast as the PS4 or the Xbox One and still have like a really creative and innovative input device. Like, one doesn't exclude the other, but apparently Nintendo disagrees with me here, and they don't care that people want to see all these games by third parties. Well, that's their take on it, but let's speculate a little bit and let's look at what we know so far about the Nintendo NX. So Satoru Iwata said that it's a new concept, but we are not thinking of this as a simple replacement for the 3DS and the Wii U. He also said that they are developing a new membership service which encompasses the existing Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U system. And now think about this for a moment. This sounds to me like Nintendo is working on a console that, rather than being a new device, combines your existing devices, right? He's saying a membership service which encompasses the existing 3DS and Wii U systems. Right, I'm just speculating here, it's completely speculative, but it sounds like, you put a software update on your Wii U, you put a software update on your 3DS, and then you get some kind of new device that you put in your home, you put your Wii U into it, you put your 3DS into it, and it becomes one system. Probably this device that you put all your other devices into would enhance their power and enhance the experience, so there would probably be still some hardware in this box. But this is just a concept that would kind of make sense to me and go hand in hand with what all these Nintendo employees are saying. I have no idea how that would work exactly, but it certainly sounds like it. And then maybe it would allow you to take your 3DS with you on the train, and if you have Wi-Fi, you can stream your game from home, so whatever it is, the new Mario that normally couldn't run on your 3DS because it's not powerful enough, you then can, because this device combines everything into one. I don't know if that's true. Obviously, the big speculation is a console portable hybrid, which would be awesome if it's at a power level of the PS4 and the Xbox One, right? If you have a device that you can take with you and play all these high-end AAA third-party games on the go, that would make Nintendo really competitive again in the gaming sector. At this year's E3, Nintendo has shown the NX behind closed doors to a selected few, and everyone who came out of that presentation was really impressed with the tech side of things. So I don't know if it is about less power or if it's more about the concept, but it certainly sounds like something that I've just described would be a possibility, considering also that the Wii U was just launched 2.5 years ago. And I would imagine that Nintendo would do anything to make this platform attractive again. Another fact that we already know is that Nintendo will not do VR. They said that specifically. I'm not sure whether it was Satoru Iwata or Shigeru Miyamoto who said that Nintendo doesn't know how to market something that you have to experience to know how awesome it is, which is VR, right? You can't tell how awesome VR is until you try it for the first time. I completely agree with that. But there is just so much irony in that when Nintendo says that, because it does apply to all their games, right? None of their games really work in a trailer, but the moment you hold the gamepad in your hand and you play it, and then it looks great, it feels great, and you just know that it's like a quite finished product, which a lot of games are actually missing. So the irony of that description is just a bit ridiculous, but fact is that Nintendo will not do a virtual reality headset. Also, Nintendo has said that the NX will be based on a partnership with DeNA, which is a Japanese mobile gaming company. And that's interesting because it kind of ties into what I said before as well. If you want to make a device like the 3DS work with some kind of crappy Starbucks Wi-Fi and you can still play your AAA game with your console that sits at home over that Wi-Fi, then you do need a really solid software architecture that allows you to do exactly that. And a big partnership with a mobile gaming company sounds very much like it would tie into that. Obviously, again, it's all speculation. The last thing that Nintendo said and that we really know is that the NX will be a dedicated gaming system, and it's a bit like whatever that means, because that could mean that it is a console that is for gaming and like a dedicated piece of hardware, but it could also mean that it doesn't try to be what the Xbox One tried to be in the beginning, which is like a media center, and it also does TV and it also plays DVDs and whatever. So I don't really know what to make of this statement that it's a dedicated gaming system. But anyway, guys, these are just my thoughts, and this is my little accumulation of all the facts that I could find on the internet. If I missed anything, then feel free to leave that down in the comment section below. If you have any thoughts, any comments on what I said, then please share those also down in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, you can leave me a like, you can subscribe to my channel for more, that would be much appreciated. Otherwise, guys, I see you next time. Take care, I'm out. Bye.